Hi, everybody. Who's here? Hi, Katia. You're the first one. Yay! Did you see the new Lavinia stamps? There's a dragon. I thought of you. Oh, someone else too. Oh, there's T. Hi, T. Oh, Katia, you have to see the new Lavinia. Oh my goodness. Hi, Dana. Dana's here. Katia, I was in the store a little bit ago, and I told Kelly, I said, stop it. I'm in so much trouble because I want every single one of the new Lavinias. I'm so excited. There's so many. Wait till you see. So I pulled some for maybe anybody else who's not familiar with Lavinia or let's see. Hi, Pam. Pam's here. I pulled some of the ones that I have that are in the store of the Lavinia stamps. And then did you see that for 24 hours there's 20% off Lavinia? It does not include the pre-sale. Pre-sale is excluded, but everything else, and I even double checked with Kelly because I said, some of the new stamps are coming up not on pre-sale. And she double checked and she said, no, that's correct. Those are just restocks. So I'm assuming there's 20% off those that they hadn't been in the store before. So I thought that was exciting too. So I thought we'd wait just a couple more minutes to see who else might come. So I pulled these that, like I said, that I have. And let's see. This one is Raven. Raven's cute. And, you know, it helps sometimes if someone tells you what size they are, because these are bigger than you kind of think when you're looking at them online. So Raven, including the branch, is about 3.5 by about 2 3/4. And then this one, this is the one that is much bigger than it looks. This is the Oracle. And this one she's about 4 inches tall. So she's almost the size of an A2, you know, she's about an A2 card. And then she's about 2 3/4. And then we've got this one, the Wet Wings. I love this one. This one's a little bit bigger than you think too, because it looks so miniature online, and then you have to really keep in mind, it really is most of your card if you're making something with this one. So this one's about 3.5 by 2 3/4. And then this one is the Tree Root, and we're actually using this one tonight. And this one is 3.5 by about 3. So, you know, keep that in mind when you're ordering and when you're thinking about cards, because they are a little bit bigger than they look. They look so little in the pictures, and they're really not. They're a nice size. So those are some that I have that are already in the store that would be 20% off. And then I actually have a couple that are they're on pre-order, so they're excluded from the sale, but they're so cute. Look at these little bunnies. I am so glad that Kelly got those in, because we might even add these to our card tonight. I'm not sure. These bunnies, like this little one, he's about 1.5 inches. So these are little. These are the smaller ones. Normally, if there's more than one, they're the smaller ones. And he's by about 3/4. And then this stamp, it says, day is over, night has come. Today is gone. What's done is done. Embrace your dreams through the night. Tomorrow comes with a whole new light. So that one's a new one. That's pre-sale or pre-order. I was going to see if I have any others that will be pre-order. I saw some pretty trees. I'm excited. All kinds of good stuff. She has like some grasses and some vines coming in. I'm really excited. There's one that's a background stamp. I think it's got hearts on it. So pretty. Some of the other things, while I remember, did you guys see the new Hello Bluebird in the store? Oh my gosh, it's so cute. There's elephants and hippos, hippos on the beach, and little critters flying a kite, and what else did I see, guys? Oh, there's a vertical banner die, and I think it's only $7.99, and it doesn't look like a big deal just looking at it, but if you Google it or look at some of the pictures that Kelly's attached, it is so cute with some of the little critters. So you have to go look at that one. It's for a metal die. It's not very much, and it's really cute. I love background dies and dies, so I'm kind of a sucker for those. So that's exciting. Hello Bluebird's in the store today, and on the store and ready to go. Then tomorrow, Picket Fence arrives. That's exciting, and I have a sneak peek for you guys. I don't have it as a card yet, but it's pretty much done. That is the Peony Botan, and I think it might actually be one of my favorite stamps ever. And there's just so many ways that I'm going to use this one. And I have to tell you, don't tell Melissa, my sister. I had told her I'd buy it and use it for a while, then maybe send it to her. I don't think I'm going to do that. This one I might have to keep because I love it. And Kelly told me that this one is coming in the store tomorrow with Picket Fence Studios tomorrow. Yes. So that one, love it. And then finally, on Saturday is the greeting farm. So 2 days till new greeting farm. So there's so much going on in the store. And yeah, I think my credit card is burning a hole in my purse right now. So, okay. So those are kind of those things I'll try to remember at the end. Someone remind me if I forget to review all that again for maybe people that come later on. So let's set this aside and let's go ahead and get started. Did everybody pull some stuff? I tried to let you know ahead of time. Just so you know, I did create this because we're going to be using some VersaFine Clair inks. And so I stamped the different colors because you know how you can't really tell from the ink pads. So this, of course, is Nocturne Black, Morning Mist Gray, Bluebell, Acorn, Fantasia. I'm not sure how well it's showing up. It's a purple. It's beautiful. Purple Delight, Chianti, a kind of a mix between a burgundy and a purple, but it really kind of more on a purpley side. Warm Breeze, Charming Pink, and Cheerful. And so I know there are more colors, but those are the ones I have. And so we might be able to pick later on what colors we want. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me put all of this stuff to the side. And I'm going to be using Strathmore Bristol Smooth just because it's a heavier weight, and we're going to be doing so much ink blending that I really like it for that. So starting out, this is an A2 size. I always start with a normal 4 1/4 by 5.5 card. That way I can cut it down and I kind of keep it in mind while I'm placing everything later on. So I do leave myself a little bit of wiggle room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using Distress Oxide inks. I love the way these blend, and I'm going to be using my Picket Fence blending brushes. I love these. To be honest, I hadn't used them a whole lot until not long ago, and I actually started with my working on a Lavinia background, and I fell in love with them. So we are going to work on this. I have a little bit of glare. Let me fix this light just a little bit. Hopefully it'll be okay. So what I'm thinking is, for my Lavinia background, I'm going to leave it landscape lengthwise. So what I'm thinking is I want it to look like a sun is rising, and so the night sky will still be up here with a moon, and I need to keep that in mind. So the first thing I'm going to do is I always keep some circles pre-cut. And by the way, I did see that Kelly actually has a moon stamp coming in for Lavinia. So I put just a little bit of tape that I can rub away on the back of a circle, and obviously I've used this one already. And I'm going to put my moon, knowing that I'm going to trim this down a little bit at some point. I'm going to put my moon about right here. So I tape that down so I can remove it, and that tape will just rub away later on. So I want to have the sun coming up. I'm going to create like a mountainy scene back here, and I want the sun to be kind of coming up in a valley is what I'm thinking. So I'm actually going to move this just a little bit. Okay. All right. So I like to work this way. It's just easier for me. And I am going to start with Squeezed Lemonade Distress Oxide. And I do like to either have a craft mat behind my paper or another piece of paper just to start off the page or off of my background cardstock and go in. You know, most of you know that. It just helps with blending. Take some off of my brush, and I'm going to kind of start here in the middle, about right here. And just kind of make that soft circle that might be the sun coming up. And I always start lighter and then press harder, knowing that I can always add more in. Yes. And so then I'm going to use some picked raspberry. And I do get a little bit more heavy-handed with my picked raspberry. I love the colors of the sunrise in the morning and those colors kind of coming in. And you know, it kind of comes around. Normally I wouldn't make that harsh line around the yellow. I just wasn't thinking. I always take a little bit off, blend it just a little before I add it to my paper. What I love about the Distress Oxides is just how creamy and how well they blend together to create backgrounds. Of course, there's all the cool water techniques and everything you can do. You know, you can smush them on your craft mat, add water, and then put your paper there. But I love how nicely they blend to create these backgrounds. I'm actually using the same exact brush that I used for my picked raspberry. I'm going to put it right on to, this is now Wilted Violet. I kind of like the brighter colors as the sun's coming up. I get much more heavy-handed with this because we're moving into the night sky. I'm using more pressure to put down more color, but see how pretty these brushes, they just blend. And even if you start to put down too much, you just keep working it with these oxide inks, and they just look fabulous. I see that more people are here, but for some reason I'm not seeing more comments, so I don't know if people are saying hi or just kind of standing off quiet, but I'm not trying to ignore anybody. If you said hi, I don't know why I'm not getting any more comments, so just checking. So that's wilted violet, and now my favorite thing to do to make the night sky is to add chipped sapphire. And I am switching brushes now, going to my largest one, but it doesn't really matter which one you use. And this is where you really can be heavy-handed, because I want this very dark up here and around the edges. So it takes a lot of color. And I kind of start off the page. I mean, most of you know this. Start off the page before you go onto it, and it helps soften the color. You don't get any of those heavy streaks. And you know, when the sun starts to come up, especially we need to keep in mind if there's a valley here, it's still going to be very dark around here. So that's why I'm adding color down along the sides. And don't worry even if you think you've added too much color, because you'll see we're going to kind of do the dribble in the water and take some away. So it doesn't stay too dark if you worry about that. Now I'm going to go back in and start adding in some of my previous colors just to build that up. I like a very bright, kind of vibrant look. Want some more of that purple in there. Just be patient with it. It really takes time to blend it together, and it's worth it in the end. One thing I do that I love about a morning sunrise is I think we need a little bit of orange. So I'm going to add in some spiced marmalade, and I'm going to use that same brush that I used for the yellow. Definitely take some of that color off. You don't want too much. We can always add in more. And blend that right in there with the pink. And just a little bit more yellow even, so that we don't lose that. Okay, now let's go ahead and see how this looks after we dribble some water. So I have just a little Ranger bottle, and I kind of give a light squeeze, and then, let's see, there we go. Oh, I have some more comments now. Let's see what I've got. I missed a whole bunch. Kelly likes the mushroom colors, and I think she says we have a few left. Hi, Mel. Let's see who else is here real fast. There's Lee. I saw Lee last night. So hi, Lee. Okay, let's do this. So some half spritzes give bigger drops. I have my paper towel ready. I'm going to dab some of those up. See how much of that we removed? And then now a little bit bigger sprays from further away. And now I'm going to dry that just a little bit. Hi, Angela. And this doesn't have to be all the way dry. Now be careful because you may not be able to see it right here, but I can see it close up because I dabbed with my paper towel. It was wet. I got a little bit of purple there on my yellow. It's okay. We won't see it. You won't see it later on. So we want to add in just a little bit more color now that we've taken some away. I like to go back in. Like I said, I know this seems like a process, but it really is so worth it in the end. So you just have to be patient. Add in some more yellow, and that helps blend that orange a little bit. And then, where'd my orange go? There it is. Let's go with some picked raspberry again. Just to bring some of those pinks from the morning sky again. So go back over and it kind of softens these spots that you've made. And then I'll go back in with some more wilted violet. And blend that right in to the chipped sapphire. Now this looks good, but here's a trick. Sometimes we forget. We get these new inks and we get so excited. We kind of forget how awesome the old inks are. So this is chipped sapphire regular distress ink, and I love to add this to over top of Oxides, and it just adds a whole other kind of depth and dimension to a background. It really changes it. Take a lot off. I don't know if you can tell, but it adds so much depth. And I'm going to go just a little bit further in because, like I said, I know that we are going to be trimming this. So I want to make sure that I really get it in there. Okay, can you see that? I don't know if you guys can really see it, but it softened those spots. And actually, I'm going to make just a couple more again. It's a process. Let's move that. Just a few more here again. I'm going to miss my sun this time so I don't get any more dark colors. And then one more time. And if I do it while it's still just a little bit wet because I didn't dry it, it blends the oxides back over it and softens it a little bit. See that? Okay, I am going to flip this over. So there, that looks better. And now that I'm looking at it kind of straight on, I want more color right here. So we have to just make sure it's, I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect, but we just kind of want it balanced. And now let's do a reveal and take this moon off. Hi, Melissa. I see Melissa here. Okay. And there we go. Ta-da! Yay! And then I just rub away any of the extra little tape that's there. Now, I will tell you, for this next part, to do my moon, I tried this with my Stays On Pigment White, and I like the kind of silvery, ethereal glow it gave it, but it didn't want to take ink later on. So I just want you to know that I did try it, but this is just a regular white pigment ink that I've always used, and I think I like my moon better with this, just because later on the Stays On Pigment wouldn't take the ink. So I'm just using the little blender brush, white pigment ink, and of course you're not going to see this, but I'm adding some here, and it's going to pull a little bit. You know what? Let's dry this first. Make sure that all this other distress ink is dry before I go over it with pigment and it starts pulling it into my moon. I still think I want some more water drops. It's still not, I think I covered them all back up again. And I know I'm picky, bear with me. This is just how I am. Katia says she likes mixing the oxides and the regular inks too. Don't you think it gives it a lot more depth? I do, definitely. Okay. Now let's go in and see if we're going to blend the moon. And then I start taking just a little bit out to give it that glow, that ethereal glow that you get. Oops, got a little bit too much there. Let's take another brush and see if we can blend that out a little bit. That's what I love about these brushes. You can just blend and it's okay. Take a little bit of that pigment off. Gently kind of go around and then take some color off and blend it. Let me wipe it off. You definitely don't want to be heavy-handed with this, because now what I'm going to do is take this and soften it a little bit. And remember, even if we get too much, we could just take more Distress Oxides and kind of go over it and lessen it. But we're going to put so much around here that even if we got a little heavy-handed, we're not going to notice it later on. So now we kind of have that glow from the moon, and we need a little bit of shadows, all the craters and everything. And I like to add in just a little bit of Salty Ocean Distress Oxide, a little bit of the tint of blue on our moon. Helps add in the shadows. And I'll be honest, I don't really know where the shadows are on the moon, but we know they're there. So, and I don't even know how much of that you can see. You can see it in in person, but now I'm going to make the blue a little bit darker, and then I'm going to add maybe, let's see, oh, here, I have some black soot, just a little bit here. Dab most of it off. And I like these little round brushes because they can add in just the hint of the shadows, and I don't even have to do much. Can you see that? There you go. There, that looks a little better. Hi, Kelly. Are you talking about the blending brushes? Are they all gone? Oh, they are all gone, it looks like. But Kelly says she can get more. I have to tell you, I like the little ones just as much as the big ones. I need all of them because, as you can see, I'm using the little ones and the big ones just even on this card. So there you go. Is that perfect? No. But is it all we need? Absolutely. And I know that the new moon stamp that's coming in from Lavinia is really cute. So there we go. And like I said, we're going to stamp some other things up here, so this doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay. Good enough, right? So just soften that. Okay. I can live with that. That's good. And like I said, I like my splatters, so I think I need a little bit more. A few more. Okay, let's dry this. Yep, Dana asked how you clean the brushes, and Kelly responded, and it's just a little bit of soap and water. And to be honest, I don't clean mine a whole lot. I just kind of wipe them off. Thanks, T. She says, beautiful moon. I just kind of wipe them off, and I haven't washed mine yet. So, it's up to you. As long as it's not polluting. You see, I kind of use somewhat the same kind of color families. The yellows and the oranges on one, and the blues, purples and pinks on another one. That's kind of what I do. Okay, now, here we go. Are you ready? I'm going to switch this background paper because it's warped. Now, this is Hammer Mill. You can also use Nina. This is how I'm going to create the background. Remember I said I'm going for kind of mountains, hills with a valley here, and then there'll be like rolling hills or grasses here. So this is how I do this. I'm going from the bottom, and I'm going to start kind of tearing, freehanding a mountain here with a valley and another mountain that I can use as kind of a stencil for my card. So I'm tearing from the bottom because what's going to happen is we're going to put this on our card here and blend underneath it. So we're keeping that in mind, and it'll keep our fingers from getting too inky up above. So just start tearing. And this is where you have to let go just a little bit. And accept what you get, hopefully. Okay, so it'll go like this. Do you see that? And I'm going to use chipped sapphire again, distress ink. Okay. Actually, I'm going to turn it this way. I'm worried about this fraying up and not giving us a nice crisp line, so I'm going to try to tear this part a little bit better. Obviously, we want it to be sturdy enough to give us a nice line. Okay. All right. So I've turned my card sideways, and here's my stencil guide, and here's our sun. So this is going to be our valley. So we want that sun to show. So I'm looking to see where everything will be in relation to my moon and my sun. And we'll go with this one and we'll see how it goes. So I'm taking, I'm going to use this blender brush right here. That will give me, and see how it's a little bit elongated? That gives me a really nice area to work with. I'm using my, nope, I want Distress Oxide Chipped Sapphire. Here it is. We're going to definitely start soft and add more color in as we want it. Hi, Denise. Remember, we're darker on the edges, so we can start darker there and then add more color over here as we go. You guys, this is my favorite part. Wait till you see this. This is awesome. It's so exciting, this part. This is probably my favorite part of this whole process. Let's see. I'm going to peek. See that? Ooh, see how exciting, but I think I want a little bit more color. This is the part, this right here I was worried about. This little edge. So we just want to go, we're going only in like 1/4 of an inch past our little guide here. Are you ready? Let's see. You ready? Oh, yay! Do you love it? I love it. So that gives us the hint of our mountains. What's really cool is we're going to add in another one because we want it to look like several hills and mountains kind of off in the distance. And what happens in pictures is, hi Amy, thank you. I believe, and you know, this is kind of a fairy fantastical card, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But lots of times it's like they get lighter further away, I'm thinking. I might be right, I might be wrong, I don't know. So let's move it. But remember, we need to keep our valley here, and we can flip it over and give us some other little hills and mountains here. So let's add this one in right here, okay? Get ready, this is even better once we add in the second one, and maybe even a third one. Remember, go lighter and then add in. Now see, I'm worried because I'm getting into my sun there in the valley. So hopefully I didn't mess that up. Remember, only about 1/4 of an inch in so that you get a lot of dimension. Ready? Ta-da! Isn't that so pretty? Oh my gosh. I love that. Okay. I think we need just one more. Let's see. See if we can. The problem is you start changing it too much by when you're using the same stencil again and again. Here's what we're going to do. Well, I'm thinking. And we don't see, we need to maintain the integrity of our sun here. So if I add this in, it won't look right because it's adding another hill right here. We can't do that. So decisions. Let's make a decision. Let's stop for right now with that. Now, let's do this. Let's create kind of hills. So we're going to tear again. I just flipped my paper over. Here's our mountains. Flip it over. Now let's create some rolling hills. I need to get my fingers in closer here because it'll create a tighter tear. There we go. So we won't have as many pieces, parts, and the flimsy paper there. So this has created a softer rolling hill. I'm going to pull this one up just a little bit. There, I kind of like that one. So let's turn this back. And keep in mind, I might even take some of this away. I'm still tearing. Now, that might be good. Going to do another one. Right here. Chipped sapphire again. Okay. And you guys, I have to apologize. I always joke I am the slowest crafter in the world. So this might be kind of slow for you guys, but this is how I work. I'm lucky if I get a card done in a day, to be honest. So this is going fast for me, actually. So thank you for sticking with me and seeing how it comes. Ready? Ta-da! So there's that. Now here's what I'm going to do. What do rolling hills have on them? Grass. So for this one right here, I think we need to add a little bit of green and then obviously greens in here. So chipped sapphire's going away. And I've got crushed olive, forest moss, and pine needles. And I want to have it lighter here, so we'll start with crushed olive. And because the sun would be shining there on that, so I'm going to start with that lighter color. And I can just go right over the blue, right over it. Okay. Now forest moss, because we're going to get darker as we kind of go out. And do you see that? I love how some of the pink stayed there. I think that makes it pretty and it gives it even more interest. Going back to my crushed olive to keep that lighter color in the middle so I don't forget it. Blend it with that, what was that? Forest moss. And then we're going to add in just a little bit of pine needles off to the side. Just a little bit more depth and interest. And you'll see it doesn't look that as bright as the color itself. It blends with the other two. And one more time with the crushed olive. And I could even, if I wanted that lighter, I could add in some squeezed lemonade, but I'm okay with that. It's fine. Okay, now we are ready. Let's dry this with our heat gun. And we are going to use the, what is this? This is the tree root. I know that this one's in the store and it's included in the 20% off sale. We're going to start with that and we'll build our scene from there. And for this stamping, I have to tell you guys, I am in love with the VersaFine Clair inks. I showed you at the beginning. I have bought so many of them already because they give the nicest crisp ink, or nicest crisp stamped image. Let me switch this out too. So I'm going to stamp the tree root in Nocturne Black. What's fun is we will stamp some of the other images in colors. Okay, let's flatten this out a little bit. So, thanks, Shamita. Did I say your name right? Is it Shamita? Thank you. Okay, this is Nocturne, and I have a cool trick here with this tree root for you. So I'm going to, keeping in mind, once again, we'll be trimming a little bit. So I'm going to bring it in just a little bit and up. Stamp that. Now, do you see how this stamp doesn't go all the way to the top? I'm going to show you how to fix that. Pick that up. Ink it just on the top again. Are you ready? See where it ended there? But our card didn't end. So I'm going to flip it upside down and get my edges to meet. And stamp that top part. Ta-da! There you go. So now you have the top of your tree there. Okay? Remember, I know it looks funny right now. We'll be trimming part of this. I'm going to add color in here. Let me clean this off. We'll dry this first because remember the VersaFine Clair is a pigment ink, so it takes just a, not very long, but it does take a little bit of time to dry. So let's dry it before we mess it up. Okay, that's the tree root. And I'm actually going to add in, get that in frame, I will use the Vintage Photo Distress Ink to add some color, just a little bit of brown to that. Okay, almost there. If you can see some of the shininess, you know it's not dry. Like there's no shine down here, but I still see shine there where I extended the tree. So we're going to keep drying. Okay, while we're working on this, I do want you guys, I'm going to give you guys a choice. I'll show you the stamp that I'm using. Let me find her. I think she works well with this tree root. We're going to use this one. This is JLAR. I'm going to put her right down here, but then we have a little bit of room. So I'm going to let you guys pick what we would like over there. I know Kelly has these bunnies coming in the store, and I think this one would be cute if she's looking at him. Or I have some butterflies. I was thinking that these would look best. I'm not sure. Let me see. Oh, I do have this unicorn, but to be honest, I think he's too big for over here. So if you want him, we can put him there, but I thought these, like she could either be looking at a little butterfly or looking at this cute little rabbit. So I'll let you guys pick. Let's take a poll. What would you like there? And I'm going to, while you're thinking about it and everybody's taking a vote, I'm going to stamp this fairy. And I said I was going to add distress ink to our tree. So let's do that too. I have to tell you, I like my fairies stamped in this solid Nocturne. They just come out very solid and you can see them. And here's something else if you noticed. I am going to splatter with some ink sprays in a little bit, but I didn't do it before I stamped my fairy because I don't like it when you stamp over it and you can kind of see it through that. So I wait until after I've stamped my fairy. So far we have Denise says rabbit, Carrie, Ann says bunny, Melissa says bunny, Amy says bunny, so we'll be going with the bunnies. Good choice. And those are pre-sale, so they're not included in the sale, but I did see that they're coming to the store. Okay, let's add some Vintage Photo with a little brush to my tree. And it doesn't need much. I like to add some color to it. See how these little brushes can just get in these little nooks and crannies? They're perfect. I just love them. And I can go outside of the lines and there's so much ink blending that you can't really tell. It's fine. And see how, I mean, it's not like it's a big deal, even if you didn't do it, but it does add some interest, so I like it. Okay. When you add so much ink and so much Distress Oxide, it really helps to dry each new layer that you add, or else, I don't know if you're like me, I'm smearing it, I'm getting my fingers dirty. So if you heat set it, you're good to go, and you have less worries later on. Okay, here she is. Let's get her inked up. And I've only got one go at this because I'm not putting it in the Misty, and that's what I like about this VersaFine ink. I just need to make sure I do my part and get her inked well. Are we ready? And I have to remember I have to leave room for my bunny over here. But I have to remember I don't want her wings to be cut off if we trim this, which we will. And I need to get her straight. Okay. Okay, ready? Yay, there she is. Now see, I missed a little bit there, so you know what we could do? We could take one of these little tiny brushes. Look at this one. And I'm going to, and that was totally my fault because I obviously didn't press in the middle of her. I'm going to fix that, and you may not even be able to see it there, but in person you can see it more, so I'm just getting a little bit of ink right there, and I'm just gently touching her right there to fill that in. Perfect. Ooh, that is perfect. I love it. I'm glad I did that. That was perfect. Good. And actually, I'm just going to add a little bit more because I don't want her to be transparent at all. I don't want you to be able to see our valley through her. There we go. There. Okay. That's Jlar. Melissa says she loves the light coming through her wings. Just wait. We're going to make them even prettier. Thanks, Denise. Okay. So we decided on the bunny. So we'll get the bunny. Put that away. Get the smaller stamping block. See, I agree with you guys. Melissa and Katia said more uses for the little brushes, and I have to tell you, I didn't know either until I started playing around. Okay, let's see where our bunny should go. I'm going to put him, I'm thinking about right there. Okay, and let's ink him up in Nocturne. Are we ready? Oh, he's so cute. You guys, what do you think? I love him. Ooh, that was a good choice. Okay, we're getting close, getting close. Now here's another fun part. Lavinia, I don't know if you've really looked, they have all these extra, like not just the tree stump, but they have like wisteria and willows and grasses and everything you need to really complete your scene. And this is why I pulled out all of the other VersaFine colors, because it looks so pretty to use colors for these other parts of our scene. So let me show you what I've got. Let's see. Okay, we have this one. And I have grasses. I think these would look good over here on the side. And then I have this wisteria. I think it's fuchsia. These are fuchsia. There's fuchsia. And those I think would look really pretty hanging down kind of like a canopy around them and kind of highlighting them. And let's use Bluebell for this. I think this will look pretty. I think this will be really pretty here. So we'll do our grasses, just a little bit of grass over here, and maybe over here, just to cover that up in case it doesn't get cut off as much. And let's see, I need a bigger Stampin' Block. Pam says she needs lots of goodies. Don't we always, Pam? I saw all those Lavinia stamps. I just looked at my husband and I said, oh no, there's more Lavinia in the store. I know, I'm in trouble already. Okay, so here's Bluebell. Here's the fuchsia. Now, let's frame this. So let's come much further down here, but I still don't want to cover up her wings. So I'm going there. And then I'm going to do a second generation stamp just to add a little bit more depth. I'm thinking as I'm talking. So let's see how this goes. And you see that? You may not be able to see it too much. But see how the blue, oh, it just looks so pretty. But it's different than the black. We didn't need black again. Now, let's add one here. Melissa says she loves the Bluebell. I do too. I think it is such a pretty blue, and it's perfect for this. Mel asked if the black ink is in the store, the Nocturne. I believe last time I checked, someone else can check also, but Mel, when I checked, it was. I think it was blue and maybe one of the purples was still in stock. Maybe we can ask Kelly to get some of the other VersaFine Clair colors in because I just love them. Ooh, look how pretty that looks. I'm going to do, I know this is what you guys, sometimes I should stop and I don't, and then sometimes I get upset with myself, but I'm going to do it anyway. Here we go. Let's do maybe some up here so we're not covering our moon. And then I can use it as a second generation stamp, maybe right in here. And then one more on the side. And let's bring this one down for that canopy. There we go. And then second generation. What do you think? What do you guys think? Oh, I tell you what, I am obsessed with these Lavinia stamps. I just think they're so pretty. Thank you, Pam. Pam said, wow, that's kind of, I even feel that way, Pam. So let's not forget to dry this before I put my fingers in it and I mess it up. And then we're going to do, let's do these grasses just a little bit. And I don't know whether I don't think I want to use the Chianti. I think I'll use Acorn, just the soft brown. Thanks, Mel. Thanks, Amy and Denise and Pam. Okay, it's not quite dry, but I'll try to remember to keep my fingers out of it so we can move this along. Because I do want it, we need to get to the splatters. And there's one other little trick that we need to do. And I know we're at an hour and people are probably getting tired. Let's see, here we go. Okay, I am using here, this is called meadow grass. And I need, this is definitely one I can go crazy with and then I don't like it. So I need to go slowly and sparingly. But we definitely, let's give him some grasses over here. The other thing you have to be really careful of, the oxide inks kind of make your cardstock slippery, especially on this Strathmore Bristol Smooth. So be careful when you're freehanding it because it's easy to kind of slide your stamp around. And I'm going to do some shadows. Second generation stamp, see how it goes. There we go. Ooh, I like that one. And now I think I'll just add one here and then call it a day because I don't want to mess it up. Okay. Maybe these can go like right here. And there we go. Okay. Dry this again. So since we're getting towards the end, just a reminder, Hello Bluebirds in the store today. You guys, if you weren't here for the first few minutes when we were talking about it, oh my gosh, elephants, hippos on the beach, all the cute little critters flying kites. And then I also talked about the banner dye. You really need to go look at some pictures of people using that banner dye because it is so cute. And I think it's, don't quote me, but I think it's only $7.99. And it's really, it's on my list. And then, let's see, Lavinia's on sale for 20% off. Not the pre-sale, just the existing inventory. Any of the pre-sale is regular price. 20% off in stock, in-store Lavinia for 24 hours. And then what's tomorrow? Picket fence. Picket fence is tomorrow. And then the greeting farm comes into the store on Saturday. Okay, so I'm going to now cover up my fairy and my bunny. And I just use Post-it notes for this, quick and easy. And I'm also going to cover up kind of my pills. Where's my sticky part? And my tree. And one more thing, I forgot to do this earlier. I am going to cover up my moon because I don't like my moon to get splatters on it. Now, I am going to use Altenew ink sprays. And my favorite way to do this is to put a little, use just like a cheap water brush and splatter it with that. This is the antique silver. Can you see that? I don't want to tilt it too much. Antique silver. I'm being very easy with it because I tend to be way, see that? Oh, thank goodness that didn't get on there. I tend to be way too heavy-handed and then I get upset. But the good thing is, I was playing with this earlier, you can kind of dab it away if you get a big splot or splat, and it's not too bad. So that's the antique silver. Let me clean this one off. And this is the other, this is beautiful. This is, there's a new one and it's iridescent. And you know, it's probably like the shimmer sprays that we've seen. I think I have Imagine also. But this is pretty when we use it to splatter, because what happens when we use a wet, a water-based product over water-based inks? It kind of takes on the colors. And so this is so pretty. Kelly says Picket Fence is the 15th, which is tomorrow, I believe. Greeting Farm, Hello Bluebird is here now, and Lavinia new and restocks any day. Okay. So this is pretty also because it takes on some of the color from the Distress Oxide background. Or you could also kind of use it like Wink of Stella and paint it on her wings when we pull this away. I think I even used some white on here earlier. I like my splatters. I can't help it. I do. So this is white from Altenew ink spray. Okay. Pull these away. Yay. See, not too much. Closer up, it's a little bit more than it probably looks to you. Let's get this dry. Pull my moon off again. Oh, hold on. Got to be careful. That tape is trying to stick more now that it's sat a little bit. Very gently rub that off with my finger. Might even need my Mono Sand Eraser. Dry this. Dana, I missed the question that Melissa says she missed it, but she's thinking close to 2 inches. Can you tell me that question? Is it something I can measure for you or something I can help with? I'm not sure. Okay, those little splatters are close to dry. I'm going to use the iridescent. And this is from that Altenew set that's in the store. I'm really glad I ordered these, Kelly, because I am loving these. Just when I thought I had pretty much everything from Altenew. I'm cleaning my paintbrush off. I am going to very lightly paint her wings with the iridescent. The nice thing about the VersaFine Clair also is that it is waterproof, so you can watercolor over it. And you have to be careful because it will pick up the oxide colors underneath. So that'll give her wings just a little bit of shimmer. And one last thing, I have this silver gel pen, and I hope I can go over where and we need to be careful so I don't get my hands in here. But if we think about the moon shining here and the sun kind of coming up, we're going to add some highlights on her. Very softly. Just to make her stand out just a little bit more. And I don't even know, I'm looking at my computer screen and I don't know if you can see it. But what size is the circle for the moon? Dana asked. Let me do that. And honestly, Dana, I have a couple different sizes because there are some Lavinia cards, like if I turned it this way and I did a portrait, so I might want a big one right in the middle for the taller stamps. So I have a couple different sizes cut, and now I don't know where the stencil is that I already pulled off, but this is the cardstock I cut it out of. And it is about 1 3/8, almost, yeah, about 1 3/8 by about 1 3/8. Does that help? So I added highlights to her face right here. Can you see it? Let's see. I'm not sure if you can even see that, but we'll see if you can see it when I add it maybe to her arm. There, you can kind of see it. And then I'm going to add it to just the front of her wings to really make those stand out. Can you see that? I don't know if you guys can see this. And then these long kind of tendrils here. And there. Can you see that? Oh, almost. Let's see. There, you can see it better. See that? Just a little bit of highlights there. So there you go. Anything we need to add? Did I forget anything? Did I forget anything? Kelly says yes, she can see her arm now. You'll be able to see it better, obviously, when I take pictures. I'm not sure. What do you think? Anything else we should add in? Amy and Melissa are the really great colors. So, what do you think? Anything else? So, don't forget, new Hello Bluebird, the 20% off, the already in stock, not the pre-sale Lavinia. Picket fences tomorrow. If you weren't here, let me see if I can show you. Don't know where I put it. Let's see. Here it is. I have my Peony Botan. That stamp will be with the picket fence release tomorrow. I watercolored that one. I'll have that posted. And what else? The greeting farm is on Saturday. Did I forget anything? Okay, you guys, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll get better. Melissa is live, I think, on Saturday. I don't think it's tomorrow on Friday. Correct me if I'm wrong, Melissa, but Melissa is normally on Saturday evenings. So, join her. I'm sure she'll have some of the new stuff. And thanks, guys. Thank you so much for joining me and sticking with me. Take care. Bye-bye.